On January 17, 2026, President Donald Trump announced a sweeping new wave of tariffs targeting multiple European allies, escalating tensions over Greenland, Denmark's vast Arctic territory. In a statement posted on Truth Social, Trump declared that starting February 1st, 10% tariffs would be applied on goods from Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Finland, and Great Britain. And the stakes are high. These tariffs are set to rise to 25% on June 1st, continuing until a deal is reached for the United States to purchase Greenland. The move comes after a long history of U.S. interest in Greenland, a self-governing territory under Danish control, which hosts critical military installations and strategic resources. Trump emphasized the urgency, citing national security concerns and the importance of global stability, framing Greenland as a vital piece in America's defensive and strategic planning. This unprecedented economic escalation follows years of complex international trade disputes. The president described the tariffs as reciprocal measures, insisting that nations benefiting from U.S. protection and trade for decades must now pay their fair share. European leaders, including Denmark, have repeatedly resisted U.S. attempts to acquire Greenland, and Trump's new threats have sparked international concern. Analysts warn that these tariffs could ripple across global markets, affecting everything from agricultural exports to industrial goods, while intensifying diplomatic tensions between the United States and Europe. Trump framed his decision as a necessary step to safeguard American interests, protect national security, and ensure the United States maintains strategic leverage in the Arctic region, a region increasingly eyed by China and Russia. As the February 1st deadline approaches, the world watches closely. Will Europe negotiate, or will the tariffs escalate into a full-blown economic standoff? And above all, what will this mean for the fate of Greenland, a land coveted for its resources, location, and geopolitical significance? This is a dramatic and unprecedented chapter in international trade and diplomacy, and its consequences could reshape the balance of power in the Arctic and beyond. The question remains, how far will the United States go to acquire Greenland, and what will be the global response to this historic tariff showdown?
We're thinking in terms of 25% on Mexico and Canada because they're allowing vast numbers of people. Canada's a very bad abuser also. Vast numbers of people to come in and fentanyl to come in.
When do you think you would enact those?
I think February 1st. He should have followed up because if they got the death penalty, they wouldn't be sending. We're talking about a tariff of 10% on China based on the fact that they're sending fentanyl to Mexico and Canada. China's an abuser, but the European Union is very, very bad to us. They treat us very, very badly. They don't take our cars. They don't take our cars at all. They don't take our farm products, essentially. They don't take very much. We have a $350 billion deficit with the European Union. Every country will be reciprocal. That's right. Every country. Won't affect everybody because there's some where we have similar tariffs. But the ones that are taking advantage of the United States, we're going to have it's reciprocity, it's reciprocal. They made a tremendous fortune in technology. And I said, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every one of those nations. And at the mere thought of saying that, I think that's all broken up. That idea has no longer sailed.
As the United States are applying tariffs worth $28 billion, we are responding with countermeasures worth 26 billion euros. This matches the economic scope of the tariffs of the United States.
So we'll effectively be charging a 25% tariff But if you build your car in the United States, there is no tariff. And what that means is a lot of foreign car companies, a lot of companies are going to be in great shape because they've already built their plant, but their plants are underutilized, so they'll be able to expand them inexpensively and quickly. Our country and its taxpayers have been ripped off for more than 50 years, but it is not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen. In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them. So if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation. You know, you think of European Union, very friendly. They rip us off. It's so sad to see. It's so pathetic. 39%, we're going to charge them 20%, so we're charging them essentially half. So much.
You know, addressing some of those issues that we have, but also finding those areas of mutual cooperation so we can move forward.
That's great. Very nice. Thank you very much. It's a very nice statement.
We have reached an agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially moved down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%.
Fantastic job. He didn't need this. He didn't need it. The tariffs are so important, and that's why we were so happy with the decision yesterday where the tariffs continue, because without the tariffs, our nation would be imperiled. We all know the great Prime Minister of the UK, and we just signed a document. This is, sorry about that. This is it.
A very important document.
Little windy out here. Give me that. We just signed it, and it's done. And so we have our trade agreement. Japan is putting up $550 billion in order to lower their tariffs a little bit. That way they have a little bit lower tariff. And they also opened their country to free trade, which nobody thought was even a possibility. We've reached a deal. It's a good deal for everybody, I believe. And it's, I think you were saying this is probably the biggest deal ever reached in any capacity, trade or beyond trade.
It is.
It's a giant deal with lots of countries, but I think it's the biggest deal ever made. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Well, we're negotiating right now, and it's also BRICS. You know, they have BRICS, which is basically a group of countries that are anti the United States, and India is a member of that, if you can believe it. It's an attack on the dollar, and we're not going to let anybody attack the dollar. So it's